Hey, welcome to 2024. Now I told you already in the previous video, if anybody even bothered to watch that one, that this year I'm planning to do things a little bit differently. So there's not going to be too much tutorials this year. It's going to be more so teaching you guys and helping you guys craft your own brand, craft your own social media channels and stuff like that. So today I want to talk about YouTube and how it's shifting and changing. Granted, this video is going to look a little bit different because I'm just overlaying my little bit of passion in the background while I'm doing kind of a podcast talk over, right? So you'll see me making some photos and walking around in the background. It's gonna be a chill, all right? So just chill, use the visuals, and take a listen to the message that I've gotta give you guys today, because I think you might be able to get some pretty cool insights from this video. Okay, so 2024. What has changed in YouTube over the last 2 years? I think a lot has changed, especially towards the end of 2023. I started to notice a style of YouTube videos that's starting to come to the forefront. But there's also a big notable difference in the type of mediums now that YouTube are kind of pushing in the algorithm. Have you guys noticed it? There's two types, right? You've got short form and you've got long form. We've always known about them, but normally would have the in-between as well. So those videos that would last, say, from 2 minutes to 9 minutes, right? That was kind of the average time on YouTube. Now, those videos are always gonna do well, no matter what. I hope we got it framed up on that because I like the way it looked on that one. So it's kind of got this element of this hut here in it and the foliage, and then this kind of showing through. So let's see if we can recreate that. We're a little bit wider on the 6000 here. That's about the same. Let's go about there. I like that. I'm going for a really kind of dark and moody kind of look with these shots, because I think they look pretty nice on the A6000. Saying that, they look quite warm and pretty. God, it's so nice there. But it seems like, and I've been seeing this in my own analytics, if I have a video past 11 minutes, past 12 minutes, the algorithm tends to push it more. I tend to get more views generated towards it. The CPM, you know, the amount of money you're getting from it goes up. Obviously, maybe because retention time is longer as well. But yeah, that changes. And then short form factor is the complete opposite. So you get a lot less money because you're spending a lot less time on social media. But what YouTube is doing there is just blasting it with views. Now, not every single short you put out there will even get any views. And I've been testing this across different channels. I've been working on different channels in the background just to see what works. I've been trying a channel that's just dedicated to shorts. I've been trying a channel that's just dedicated to long format stuff, and then in between, just to see which one's working. And I've found some very interesting stats there. But let's just talk about today the style of YouTube, how it's changing, and how diverse it's becoming, and how you guys should adapt to it and change towards it. All right. This place is probably boring for you guys, but I don't know why. I find it really, really interesting. Yeah, let's talk about YouTube. I'm a bit cool right now. If I was starting a YouTube channel in 2024, and this is a kind of an exercise that I try to do every single year, right? So at the start of every year, at February, I know that's when I first started my YouTube channel. Was that in 2016, 2017, I think. And I always try to think to myself, all right, this year, let's try to do something a little bit different. Let's have a different feel or a different vibe to this year. So it's kind of like starting a fresh new channel each year, right? Let me just turn this around so I can see you guys. Cool. So if I was starting a YouTube channel from scratch this year, I think I would avoid certain things, certain video genres, if it comes to this field, for instance, right? So when I'm saying this field, I mean the whole filmmaker, photographer, creative that kind of creative field. Not so much, say, like doing nails or doing hair or something else, or vlogging or whatever. But what I would say to avoid is just going in with a tutorial straight away. I noticed that with my channel, when I first started it, it was exciting to me because it was all about just jumping in. I was going for a long trip in Switzerland, and I just liked the fact that, you know, it was like a creative exercise. I really just wanted to learn and learn and learn rather than teach and teach and teach. Now, obviously, we've all got our niches, we've all got our talents,
so we can jump onto YouTube and teach things straight away. But one thing you gotta remember, right? If you start teaching tutorials straight away, some people might just enjoy that. But YouTube is a bit of a, it's an up and down toxicity place. Some people might look at your channel, see that you've got 1 or 2 subscribers, and they will not trust you, right? They will not watch your videos. They're like, it could be the best tutorial in the world. They just will not trust you. You have to kind of build a bit of a following for people to kind of feel safe with you, you know what I mean? Even though you probably have the best intentions, you have the best knowledge, but they just don't know that yet. So what I would probably say is to avoid tutorials when you first start a YouTube channel, and instead just use it as a platform to express what you enjoy doing. That's kind of what I did when I first started, and some things on my channel now, I kind of regret going away from that, because my channel was always about just learning how to make videos and then going out hiking and stuff like that, and I really enjoyed it. But over the time, you kind of find different pathways and stuff like that. So first things first, I'd probably avoid the tutorial world. But there is kind of a world out there right now which is really kicking off, and it seems like it can catapult your channel if you do it correctly.
Okay, let me just jump in here. If you're enjoying the colors in this video, then maybe you should check out my store, Terra88. On the store, we have LUTs, we have sound packs. We're gonna start to have ebooks and all sorts of masterclasses that are popping up on there. So be sure to stick around and watch what comes out on the store. Check it out. We'll pop it on sale for the next 7 days. So let's start off with short form video, and then we'll get into the long form, because I think the long form is what's really gonna help you guys. But let's just get the short form stuff out the way. So the change in short form videos at the moment seems to be heading away from those memes. It's heading away from those comical little scenes that we normally see, a puppy in a little bed and stuff like that. And they're starting to become a lot more educational. I feel like that's the route it's starting to become down now. You'll notice there's a lot more videos out there giving you quick tips. And I think that's the kind of point of it, right? There's a lot more videos there giving you behind the scenes. Now, I feel like if you really want to stand out, and I've noticed this in my shorts across my different channels, that when I create a video that's minimal effort, and I mean minimal effort, there's so many videos where I set up my camera, I put it into vertical positioning, I set up lights, I get a nice lens with full of bokeh, I set up microphones, and I give a short message which I think is really impactful and helpful, and it'll get 70 views. And then I go and whip out my phone, I hit record, and I just show something that's attached to my camera. I show something that's just something to do with the kind of genre that I'm in, and it gets 2,000 views. What's going on there? I think there's this raw mentality. So when we see short videos, we're expecting it to be more intimate. We're expecting it to be a behind the scenes. We're expecting to find out a little gem that we wouldn't normally see in a polished video. Now, I want you to bear that in mind, right? If you are creating shorts right now, maybe just tone it down a little bit. Don't try so hard. Tone it down and just focus on getting that raw, authentic vibe to it. Now, you can manufacture that yourself. You can purposely make it look amateur, but it's just a technique to it, you know what I mean? Sometimes when things are too amateur, like if you know the microphone's dodgy or there's just wind blowing or something like that, no one's gonna want to watch it. But what I would suggest for your short videos in the coming months going forward, try to make them a little bit more personable. Try to make them have kind of an authentic, realistic vibe to them rather than the typical overly polished videos. Now, I've noticed this personally on, say, Peter McKinnon's channel recently. He went to go see his friend, I can't remember what's his friend's name now. I think it's Chris. He does, I think it's Chris Ramsey. He does a lot of like magician kind of, you know, just magic. He's a magician, right? He does a lot of puzzle games and stuff on his YouTube channel. Yeah, I think when he went to go see Ramsey was doing the same kind of thing, but then I think he trialed just using his phone. I don't know if it was like a test shot before he used a real camera, but he decided to upload it. And then he continued uploading it. And those videos got way more views than the videos that he spent more time on. You know what I mean? So I think the message there is to work out that balance. You know that balance that everyone always talks about, right? Don't work harder, work smarter. It's not about not putting the effort in, but maybe just focus on the message that you're getting across and allowing that to shine more so than the fact that, you know, oh, look at the fancy lights I've got, look at this fancy dance. Because before you know, you spent 3 hours setting up a shot you could have done in 4 minutes. All right, so Let's move on to what I really want to talk about, the biggest change on YouTube, which we're going to see in 2024, and that's long format videos. I've noticed a rise of chill videos, right? You've probably seen these videos where people aren't even talking nowadays. It's just people walking around the wilderness. I think there's Craig Adams, right? And his video hopefully is similar to the video that you're watching right now, where he's just exploring nature. Doesn't really talk. He just lets nature do the talking, just explores it, allows you to see some new locations and stuff like that. There's also people that take it the same kind of feel, but the opposite direction, like Life of RZA, who's doing like vlogs that are very uber cinematic, but at the same time, they have such a personal vlog feel to them, similar to how Casey Neistat videos were, but instead of that fast-paced cut, it's a slow, like melodramatic kind of feel to it. And those videos are resonating. Those videos don't even have SEO ready titles in them. Do you know what I mean? Their titles are just so basic, but the content, the fact that it's a long form video, YouTube's like, okay, let's trial it. And if you get your video trialed by YouTube, if you get your video suggested by YouTube, the chances are gonna explode way more. The craziest thing is, right, it's one of those things now where I think people are using YouTube as not just a Google device anymore. Like, people, obviously, there's going to be a whole group of people that literally just use YouTube to figure out how to fix something. It's a visual form of Google, right? But now I think we've got this whole new trend of kind of Netflix and chilling on YouTube. Like, I've fell victim to it myself when I'm working, when I'm editing. I'm playing lo-fi beats on the other screen on my laptop or something, just so I can have some music in the background, like a little radio station, while I'm editing and stuff like that. And I feel like, not to say that people ignore these videos, but Life of RZA, Craig Adams, they have this kind of passive feel to them. Like, you can just watch it and just like zone out. You don't have to be focused. You don't have to be kind of, oh, pause, what did you say? Pause, what did it say? Do you know what I mean? It's just like a chill flow to it, right? And all her videos are quite long. All Craig Adams videos are quite long. So that's bearing in mind. So if you're thinking about, okay, I want to start a YouTube channel in 2024, and you're thinking, oh, but I don't have the budget, because you think you need an expensive camera or expensive microphones, tripods, all that stuff. You need equipment, but it doesn't have to be that expensive. And I'm working on a video at the moment, which is just testing a little cheap camera, just to see if you guys would engage with it, if you would even watch it. If that does well, then it's proof in the pudding right there, you know what I mean? But a lot of people are put off by the fact that, one, it's expensive to start a YouTube channel, according to everybody on YouTube. Two, it takes up a lot of time to make a YouTube video and stuff like that. They can be true, right? But if you're working this format now that people are doing, which is a lot more casual, it's just a little bit more cinematic because they're using more cinematic lenses, but you can do that by getting vintage lenses that cost you like £30 on eBay or something, and you know, you got a nice blurry background, or you got a nice character to the lens. If you can get a lens like that, adapt it to your mirrorless camera that costs you £500 or whatever, then you could make that slow format if you wanted to. And when it comes to time, you'll be spending less time editing on videos like that. It's harder to edit a video that has more cuts in it. It's harder to edit a video to be shorter. Trust me, from all the experience I've had online, it's way easier to just gather some cinematic shots, line them up in a timeline, and let it flow. It's so much harder to cut that down and work to a specific time. It's actually near enough impossible to break it down to a specific time. Let's touch on one last form of long format kind of videos that are gonna explode this year, and I think you should really capitalize on it, or at least think about it, right? That's live videos and podcasts. Live videos and podcasts are going to be the next big thing in 2025. So I think 2024 is a time where we should start to dabble in it, right? You probably notice there's a lot more creators right now creating a podcast. You probably notice there's a lot more creators outside of the gaming world that's introducing live streams. So I was watching the Gary Vaynerchuk live stream the other day, and he was live streaming on multiple platforms. He was on TikTok, he was on Instagram, he was on Twitch, I think he was on Facebook, all at the same time, streaming on different devices, right? And he was just doing it as a test, having a conversation with people. And he was looking at the numbers, and you can see the numbers, they grow so much. There's people that don't even know him that just turn up into the thing, like into the live, and then they're, you know, attached to him. Next week they're following him. Live streaming is going to be the way that we introduce new characters to our story. It's the way we introduce a new community, and I think that's something that I need to start thinking about utilizing this year round. I've already started working on a podcast because I feel like talking mediums like this, it's a great way for me to just explode my creative diarrhea, and hopefully some of it may help you guys. But yeah, these are the forms that we should be looking at nowadays. We should not be aiming, even though obviously Mr. Beast is gonna do well, of course, but I don't think you should be aiming videos to be like Mr. Beast this year. YouTube is definitely changing, and I think you should change with the tides as well. I think if I was starting a YouTube channel now in 2024, I would definitely just focus on 3 mediums: long format, short format, live stream. Those are the 3 that I would try to focus on this year. The middle ground stuff, those 5-minute videos, I'd still make them, but I wouldn't make them my main content on my channel. I hope there was some gems in this video, and I hope it helped you out. If it did, then please feel free to leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're into this kind of knowledge sharing kind of thing. I'd love to have you guys on board, and feel free to leave some comments below. I want your ideas and what you think is going to kick off this year. Tell me some of your ideas of what you think is going to happen, what kind of genres are working, what kind of videos you're actually watching on YouTube, and what you're addicted to, because there's always something that we're addicted to, right? Enough waffling. I hope you've enjoyed this weird format of just listening to it. It's kind of like a podcast, right, in itself, with some of my slow walking visuals in the background. All right, I'll catch you in whichever video I happen to decide upon next. Peace.